Every losing streak I've ever had has come down to just one thing, and most traders don't even realize this. So welcome back to The Trader's Mind. This is episode 2. Yesterday, we set the foundation, and today we're diving straight into the one thing that kills all accounts before strategies do, and that's fear. Fear is the emotion behind hesitation, overtrading, revenge trading, literally everything you hate about your own trading. Fear is behind this. So what actually is fear, and how does this affect your trading? So fear is your brain protecting you from danger. The problem? Your brain can't tell the difference between a lion chasing you and a candlestick moving in the wrong direction. There was a psychological study done in the University of Zurich, which found the center of your brain reacts the same way to a financial loss as it does physical pain and threats. So when the price does pull back against you, your brain instinctively goes into survival mode. That's why you move your stop loss. That's why you cut winning trades short. And that's why you get FOMO and then put stupid entries in. And unfortunately, it's biology. It's built into us. It's not just everyone being stupid. And there's two main fears within trading. Number one, the fear of losing. This is the one you're probably more aware about. And this fear of losing creates hesitation. You see the setup, you wait, and it plays out without you. You then get really annoyed at yourself. And then the next fear is the fear of missing out, or FOMO. FOMO creates overtrading. Price moves fast, your brain panics, and you just try and chase a move quickly. That is why and how traders turn a nice clean day into an absolute disaster. And you might be totally aware of these two fears that you have within trading, because these are completely normal to anyone. However, it is so easy to get caught in a spiral or a trap in fear that it's really hard to get out of. And this is the scary part. Fear doesn't just happen once, it spirals. You have fear, you get hesitation, you miss a move, you get frustrated, you then overtrade, you then take a loss, you then get more fear, then you end up revenge trading and overtrading even more. And that loop is how everyone blows accounts. And if there's anyone watching this who thinks they've never been in that loop or spiral of fear, then you're either not a trader or you're lying, because it happens to absolutely everyone, including myself. My worst lessons and trades, they never came from my strategy being completely wrong all the time. It came from fear, either fear of missing out or fear of actually entering a trade in the first place. And having those two fears just causes you to amplify those fears even more, because they both work against each other. One is a fear of not trading, FOMO, and one is a fear of actually entering a trade. And that's why your mind is always contradicting itself whilst trading. And I've had this where I've lost an entire 3 months worth of rent because of one silly trade that I took because I had FOMO. I then got fear because I lost that money. I then started to overtrade, revenge trade, and over risk to get that money I lost back. That then caused me to lose even more money, and it put me in a really, really bad time. And not just within trading, just in life. And it was all caused because I had a fear of it. And it was never the chart being wrong, it was never my strategy being wrong all the time, but it was just myself. I didn't know how to control my emotions and control my fear whilst trading. So how do you break fear within trading? The easiest answer is you cannot remove fear from trading. There's not a simple trick you can do to remove all your fears, but you can try and control it with structure. It's a quick 3-set step of rules in a way, which if you do before every trade, will help you out. It will reduce the fear, but of course it's not going to remove all the fear. But if you follow this every single trade, you'll become more confident each time. Number one is predefine your risk before taking any trade. Because if you've already accepted that you're willing to lose X amount of money or X percentage on a single trade, there's no need to panic when the trade is going into downdraw. I don't mean prepare yourself for a 50% loss of your account, but prepare yourself for potentially a 1% loss that day or a 0.5% loss that day. This will stop you from having these huge stop losses and risking loads of money on one single trade. And there's two easy fixes. You could either reduce your stop loss, make it tighter, or reduce your lot size, which is probably the better option. This means you have less panic during the trade, you have less panic whilst opening the trade and finding an entry, and it keeps your mind clear, or as clear as it can be, for that trading session and that trading day. So number 2 is only trade A+ setups. So let me be real, my A+ setup is not your A+ setup. Everyone has their own idea of an A+ setup. However, if you have that predefined in your brain, once you've got over the fear of opening the trade and planning the trade, you will be more confident within your trade because you know that you believe it's an A+ setup. And yes, by only choosing A+ setups, you're going to be trading a lot less. By this, I mean potentially 3 trades a week. You may not like that, but the majority of profitable traders do not take a trade every single day. Including me this week, it's Thursday, I've taken 1 trade, and that was one A+ setup, and it won. If I tried to take other trades throughout the week, they could potentially be a B setup or a C setup, however you want to rate them. And they potentially could have lost, and that would have turned my week, instead of a profitable week, into a down draw week. So just try and take A+ setups. Yes, you're not going to be placing as many trades as you normally would. However, you'll be more confident with each trade you take. And number 3, which isn't really spoken about, is a 1 decision rule. What I mean by this is if the setup and the trade matches your plan, you take it. If it doesn't, you close the charts immediately and walk away. Because if you take it based off your strategy and your trading plan without getting any emotions involved, that is a good trade, regardless of if it wins or loses, because it's data. Data is good within trading. If it doesn't meet any of your setup plans, don't take the trade, because 1, you can't really use that trade as data for your strategy, and 2, you'll probably just end up losing money and you're gambling. And trading isn't about gambling. So use a 1 decision rule. If it ticks every box, straight away you enter if it's at your entry price. If it doesn't tick every box, don't take the trade. It's as simple as that. Don't click the button. And using those 3 rules really did help me with my trading and with my fear of trading. Because as I mentioned at the start, there's 2 fears. You've got the fear of losing and the fear of missing out, and they both contradict each other. So having these 3 rules in place really reduces the amount of fear from both sides that you get. It's never going to go away, but you'll get used to it in time. And remember, fear is completely normal. Fear is human. But if you don't understand fear, it will completely ruin your trading journey. And the best way is to identify fear whilst you're trading is if your breathing changes or your hands start getting tense or sweaty. You just end up clicking around the chart more. You're clicking on random things. You're going into all the different time frames and you're just all over the place. If you're starting to feel like these, don't enter a trade because you're showing fear. So shut the laptop, reset, come back the next day. There's no rush within trading. So if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like and subscribe. I've also put a link down to the prop firm that I use, which is FTMO, and the live broker that I use, which is XNES. So if you want to jump onto any of those, feel free to click the links. And again, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.